Now joining me to talk more on the status of Nigerian security is security analyst and executive director, Elixir Trust Foundation, Mr. Emmanuel Ikule. Mr. Emmanuel, good evening.
Yeah, this evening.
All right, good. So now, Mr. Emmanuel, let's talk about this. Since the inception of this current administration, there's one issue that seemingly is giving the administration sleepless nights, and that is the insecurity that we are facing. Now, how would you assess the efforts so far of the government in tackling this menace?
I didn't get your question properly.
My question was regarding the state of security in Nigeria, regarding the administration's efforts so far. How would you assess their efforts so far in tackling the menace of insecurity?
We'll begin first of all by sending my condolences to members of the military that we lost this year. At the same time, also to citizens that we also lost this year. Crime has become a norm in the country, and gradually, Nigeria as a country is becoming a script where some persons write how things happen and then watch it or make steps to make it happen exactly how they want it to happen. So far, the government have not shown that they have the will, they have the willingness to address situations. It's not that we don't have people who can address the situation. It's just the willingness and the permission to address situations. So as long as these things are left this way, it will continue to be this way. As long as security votes have become money in the hands of people and they are not being accounted for, there will always be insecurity in states because persons are going to benefit and nobody is going to account for such monies. So that means there will always be cases like this happening all over the country. And as long as you have also kept persons languishing in poverty, they will always also be available for recruitment to carry out these incidents. So for the meantime, we are just beating around the bush. And just like the last administration did, Buhari administration beats around the bush up to this time, a similar thing that this current administration have continued from where the last administration stopped. There's reported cases of kidnapping in different states. There are no, we are just getting reports that some persons that have been kidnapped, students have returned, and all of them are already been dressed in same regalia. Within a short period of time that they were being returned, already materials are being sewn for them. Then you are looking at, was this planned? How come they returned back and nobody, no culprit was held accountable, or people were being arrested and brought to book to serve as deterrent to others? How come is it that trillions of naira are being spent yearly and given to the military yearly, and then the military, because of its carelessness, ends up killing people in hundreds in Kaduna, and they just come out with press release and nobody's been held accountable? As long as accountability has lost its worth and value in the country, we'll continue to face all these issues. And we hope that maybe with efforts, maybe these issues will be addressed and life will have worth again in the country.
Now, Emmanuel, very interesting points you make there. But regarding this administration's efforts, now they seem to be a bit reactionary. Question now is, what should the administration do to make it seem more proactive when it comes to the national security?
Okay, generally, even before now, our law enforcement officers have always been reactionary. This is not the first time, and I guess it won't be the last, except proactive steps are taken. And for me, the first thing is this. All the law enforcement agencies we have in the country have their responsibilities, and they are divided. For example, the military has a role, they have their responsibility in trying to address issues of sovereignty, protecting the sovereignty of the country, and trying to also support other agencies. But we find them currently doing the role of the police. The police is supposed to handle internal security issues, but that is the role the military is coming to play now. And as long as the system has been infiltrated by different persons doing the same role meant for other persons, there will always be cases like this without no one being held accountable. So the military should go back to its role. They should should I say for now, leave permanently this role meant for other security agents. So have the civil defense, have the police within. Let them be allowed to carry out their mandate internally with the support of vigilante and maybe community policing outfits in some states at that level. That is one. Secondly, there should be complete ban on security votes. Without the votes, there are budgetary allocations being given to different states and being given to different agencies to carry out the work of policing all over the country. And each year, at the end of each year, there should be accountability on those funds spent. Just imagine trillions of money each year and nothing is being held account, no accountability. And for 4 years, trillions will be allocated to the military. At the end of the tenure, the service chiefs will be freed and given ambassadorial positions for failure. Life should matter. As long as they are not accounting for the money that's being given to them, there will always be wastage. So the country, first of all, should each year hold the service chiefs, the Inspector General of Police, let them account for the monies given to them. Also, those ones that fail to account for those monies should be brought to book instantly. There should not be reward for failure. There should also be a yearly plan or a strategic 4-year, 10-year plan, what these agencies or what the security agencies should be achieving per year. What is the work plan? This year, this social money should be budgeted for this. At the end of the year, is these things achieved? Instead of just beating around the bush, running in circles, each year, there's no plan for anything. They claim always to have a security architecture and all that. But what is the result? If trillions are being given to in any country at all, if you use their monies in budgetary allocation in trillions and given to any security agency in any country at all, there will always be an improvement. For example, if you look at some countries having budget in trillions like the US, they are very good on land, in sea, in the air. And they have also purchased equipment that will help to serve them. In the country, we are still using manual ways of addressing or handling security. What has happened to tech? You can, at this current dispensation, you cannot continue to do things manually. And as long as the military is doing the role of the police, there will always be abuses. Most times there will be reprisal attacks by the military. Anytime there's reported cases of people killing the military, what do? They go back and bomb such villages. Is the military above the law? So those ones that end up doing that should also be brought to book. As long as laws are only affecting the poor and protecting the rich, there will always be cases like this.
Well, Emmanuel.
And people that have, yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, well, I thought you had ended there. I was going to thank you and say your points have been noted. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, indeed.